Now, for nightclub owners, tonight must feel like New Year's Eve because in just over 2 hours' time, the masks can come off, the dance floors can fill up to capacity, and the champagne corks will be popping to celebrate the end of 17 months of nightclub closure. So let's go right now to Alex Proud, owner of Proud Nightclubs. Alex, huge moment for you. What's sad, though, is that the government seems to want you not to celebrate.
Yes, it is very odd. I mean, Boris has given out horribly mixed messages, and actually it was interesting after his sort of very depressing speech this week. Our bookings dropped considerably. It's bizarre. I think it's almost like he's setting a trap for us, and I think it worries us considerably. You know, he's saying we can open, but actually, please do it responsibly. Please use COVID passports, even though they don't exist, and the government admit they don't exist, and they have no real idea how to make them work yet without them being wide open to fraud. So, you know, it's tense. We're worried that the government could change their minds. I desperately hope not.
Indeed, I hope not too. But of course, they're trying to put all of the pressure on people like you to check vaccine passports, which is so wrong to me on so many levels because I'm completely opposed to their introduction. But to actually say that it's up to nightclubs to do, and I'm very heartened, though, Alex, to hear that 80% of nightclubs up and down the country say, hell no to that. Hell no, we're not going to be asking for vaccine passports.
No, I think I think there's a real strength of community that we don't want to do it. It's a combination of things. I think on moral, I live in a democracy, although we seem to have forgotten that quite often recently. You know, most of us think it's a horrible idea. You know, I don't want anyone to be able to stop me in the street and ask me for some sort of identity, and I don't want to do that to people coming into my club. Also, the other problem is that they're wide open to fraud. They're very unpractical. Ditto. I mean, you saw at Wembley on the final the other day. I mean, it was a disaster where people trying to look at the stewards trying to look at the COVID test, and everyone used fake ones anyway. So I think it's a nonsense. I think the key thing is the public know that we take their safety incredibly seriously. Most nightclubs have amazing ventilation systems. We've all invested heavily. Our staff test every day, whether they're at work or not. We care about your safety very much, but also we know full well that many of our staff have been getting the Delta variant recently, and for them it's flu. They're off work for a few days, feeling ill. Obviously, they have to isolate. But it's not a big deal. None of them get particularly stressed about it. And we worked out in about a month's time they'll have all had it. So I don't quite know why we're all so worried at the moment. It's not like it was when people with health problems who are much older were getting corona a year ago. It's not the same thing at all. And I think we should all calm down and get on with things. But we all seem to be very hysterical now, don't we?
And Alex, do you think there's going to be public demand for nightclubs? I mean, I hope and pray there is, but, you know, there's been so many people who seem to have become so terrified, and even polls showing that a certain sector of society want nightclubs to be forced to shut forever, even when COVID is no longer an issue. But do you still expect the young people and the young at heart and folk like me who can't wait to get back into a nightclub again, do you expect us to still be coming in large numbers?
Yeah, I think there's always a section of society that would like to shut nightclubs down. Tend to be the same sort of people who complain about your planning permission or turning your noise down in the party. I think there's plenty of demand there, and I think the young are being pretty sensitive about this. They're not particularly frightened by COVID, and I think they're learning to live with it quite happily, and you know, they don't even particularly get worried when they get it. It is just like getting the flu for them. It's unpleasant, and it occurs just as it does in winter and flu season. So I think we're going to be fine. I think we just need to get over this bump. They all need to either get their double vaccination or get the damn thing, and we're going to have herd immunity in the young. We're all really excited, and all the other owners I'm speaking to are a really exciting summer of entertainment ahead. We've got great DJs, everyone's invested in their venues, and we're desperately keen to welcome you back, whatever age. not just the young, but anyone who likes to have fun and enjoy themselves. Come back. It's safe. It's great fun. And also, Britain is world leading in this area. We have some of the best nightclubs, the best live music venues, theatres, etc. And without those things open, we lose a whole part of what it is to love Britain, to love living in our great cities and towns. And they are sadder without that. And also, it's really bad for crime and stuff like that. When you have busy town centres, you tend to have far less crime. The town centres are horrifying without busy nightlife going on around them, and it's what makes them so special. And I desperately want the nightlife to reappear everywhere.
We need our nightclubs back, and if you're planning to go clubbing in exactly 2 hours' time, I salute you, because you're doing the right thing for the British economy, and you're also doing the right thing by sending a message to the rest of the country that business as usual returns tomorrow, because it's Freedom Day. The government might not want to say that it's Freedom Day anymore. They might not want to admit it. But we're free in 2 hours' time. And that involves dancing and drinking a lot and having fun. Because you know what? We all need that after the past 16 months. Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.